I'm gonna need to leave this magical place. What a pity. This past month, I lost both of my grandparents. Their absence left me quiet, unable to write, to film, to create. Grief has its own rhythm, and sometimes all we can do is move through it, one breath, one step at a time. And some stories wait for us in silence. This one, I now share in their memory, for the roots they gave me, for the love that endures beyond distance and time, and for the reminder that even when our loved ones are no longer beside us, their presence lives on in the path we walk. Oh wow, cool. This year marks a decade since I left my homeland. 10 years since I packed my life into a suitcase, said goodbye to familiar faces and places, and stepped into the unknown. I left behind the sounds of my language, the smell of home cooked meals, the warmth of a culture that shaped me. I traded all of it for a promise to grow, to learn, to discover. And my journey began in Scotland. The grey skies and cold winds were as unfamiliar as the challenge I was about to face. And yet, from the very first day, I felt a strange sense of home, as if some part of me had been waiting for that land, as if I had left once before in another life and was now returning. It was there in that damp soil that I found refuge. Gardening became my teacher. Every seed I planted taught me patience. Every harvest reminded me of the joy that comes from nourishing something into life. I didn't just grow a garden there, I grew into myself. Scotland also gave me the love of my life, and together we built a life in that foreign land, far from the comforts of familiarity, but rich in discovery. We had our first child there, and in that moment, the meaning of home shifted. Home was no longer a place, it became the people I loved. But the pull of family brought us to Spain, closer to my husband's roots. And once again, I began again, in a place that wasn't quite mine. Spain is beautiful, full of life and culture, but isn't Brazil. It isn't where I learned to walk, to dream, to grow. And still, is where my second child was born, and where our story continues to unfold. 10 years abroad have been many things, messy, beautiful, complicated. And looking back now, here is the thing. 10 years abroad could have been 10 years of traveling across Europe, but I chose differently. Most of the time, I saved what I could just to fly back to Brazil once a year to see my family, and I'm glad I did. When I first moved to Scotland, I traveled and camping across that beautiful country. But even then, I didn't go everywhere. I returned again and again to the same places. Because for me, traveling was never about checking destinations off a list. It was about connecting, talking to the local, listening to their stories, feeling the rhythm of a place. And traveling is amazing, yes. But if you only visit a place for a few hours and then rush to the next, you miss it so. Let me look. Oh, fuck. I never arrived. I thought it was far closer. Oh dear. I. Oh no, it's up there. Woohoo. That's it. That's the place I want to arrive. Up there. It is so cool. During the way I was thinking why actually I want to come here. And then now I know. Oh my god, look at the view. Living abroad is like walking a tightrope between gain and loss. For every perspective, every friendship, every new horizon gained, there is something left behind. But then this is life after all, isn't it? I have gained languages and resilience, the ability to adapt to places that once felt foreign. I have lost the ease of my native tongue, the closeness of family, the spontaneous meals, and embraces that once defined my days. I have lost the familiarity of home, the smells, the sounds, the pulse of the streets where I was born. And yet, when I think about my story, I return to my roots. My grandparents and those before them left their young homelands, Italy, Poland, Ukraine, seeking a better life in Brazil. They too carried both hope and loss, both courage and grief. Perhaps in some small way, I'm walking their path again. Their journeys shaped my existence, and now my journey shapes the life of my children. They carry roots in 3 countries, yet their heritage stretches far wider. They may never belong tied to one place, but perhaps that is the gift, to carry pieces of many just as I do. Living abroad teaches you that home is never a single place. It is the land you left, the people who raised you, the path that you have walked. It is the voices that shape you, the lessons you carry, the roots you plant wherever you go. Yes, I have lost pieces of my homeland. Yes, I have felt absence like a shadow at my side. But I have also gained a deeper understanding of myself. And perhaps this is the greatest inheritance of all, the reminder that we are not only shaped by where we come from, but by the courage to keep walking, even when the path leads us far from home. Because home is not only a place left behind, but a presence carried with us. It lingers in the smell of childhood meals and the voices that once called our names, and the stories whispered from one generation to the next. Home is inheritance, the roots passed down to us by those who came before. Even in their absence, their love becomes the ground beneath my feet, their courage, the compass in my hands. And so I walk on, knowing that no matter where I go, I'm never without a home. It lives quietly with me and blossoms anew in the lives of my children. And to those who, like me, live far from their homeland, don't blame yourself for the distance or for the things you feel you have lost. The most important thing is to be true to your heart. Life is not fixed. Nothing is forever. If one day you decide to return after 10 years away, be at peace with that choice, because during those 10 years, you were exactly where you need to be.
Bright old train to be tamed. Nature gave a new name. Source to nurture